There are some things that are so unforgivable that they make other things easily forgivable. Stories can also be used to empower, and to humanize. Stories can break the dignity of a people. But stories can also repair that broken dignity. Culture does not make people. People make culture. If the full humanity of women is not our culture, then we can and must make it our culture. I think you travel to search and you come back home to find yourself there. Your feminist premise should be, I matter. I matter equally. Not, if only. Not, as long as. I matter equally. Full stop. This was love, a string of coincidences that gathered significance and became miracles. For me, feminism is a movement for which the end goal is to make itself no longer needed. Racism should never have happened, and so you don't get a cookie for reducing it. There are people who dislike you because you do not dislike yourself. The manifestation of racism has changed, but the language has not. The problem with gender is that it prescribes how we should be rather than recognizing how we are. I have chosen to no longer be apologetic for my femaleness and my femininity. And I want to be respected in all of my femaleness because I deserve to be. I am trying to unlearn many lessons of gender I internalized while growing up. But I sometimes still feel vulnerable in the face of gender expectations. Imagine how much happier we would be, how much freer to be our true individual selves, if we didn't have the weight of gender expectations. My own definition as a feminist is a man or a woman who says, yes, there's a problem with gender as it is today and we must fix it, we must do better. Feminism isn't a cloak that I put on in the morning and take off at certain times. It's who I am. I look at the world through eyes that are very alert to gender injustice, and I always will. Marriage can be a source of joy and love and mutual support, but why do we teach girls to aspire to marriage and we don't teach boys the same? You must never behave as if your life belongs to a man. Do you hear me? Your life belongs to you and you alone. I know I'm able to have empathy for men who have been assaulted, who've suffered. I don't need to imagine that they're my brother or my husband. Show a people as one thing, only one thing, over and over again, and that is what they become. The single story creates stereotypes, and the problem with stereotypes is not that they are untrue, but that they are incomplete. Teach her that if you criticize X in women but do not criticize X in men, then you do not have a problem with X, you have a problem with women. Why did people ask, what is it about? As if a novel had to be about only one thing. How easy it was to lie to strangers, to create with strangers the versions of our lives we imagined. I am interested in challenging the mainstream ideas of what is beautiful and what is acceptable. If you start thinking about being likable, you are not going to tell your story honestly. To choose to write is to reject silence. You can't write a script in your mind and then force yourself to follow it. Our histories cling to us. We are shaped by where we come from. I like politics and history and am happiest when having a good argument about ideas. When we realize that there is never a single story about any place, we regain a kind of paradise. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, born the 15th of September 1977, is a Nigerian writer whose works include novels, short stories and nonfiction. She was described in the Times literary supplement as the most prominent of a procession of critically acclaimed young Anglophone authors, which is succeeding in attracting a new generation of readers to African literature, particularly in her second home, the United States. Adichie has written the novels Purple Hibiscus, 2003, Half of a Yellow Sunday, 2006, and Americana, 2013, the short story collection The Thing Around Your Neck, 2009, and the book-length essay We Should All Be Feminists, 2014. Her most recent books are Dear I Joelle, or A Feminist Manifesto in 15 Suggestions, 2017, Zachora, 2020, and Notes on Grief, 2021. In 2008, she was awarded a MacArthur Genius Grant. She was the recipient of the Pen Pinter Prize in 2018. She was recognized as one of the BBC's 100 Women of 2021.